Hey, welcome back to the channel. This video is about Singapore, and not just Singapore, but the Gardens by the Bay. You know what they are, it's these awesome gardens, these super growth trees, all artificial, but there's two things that are pay to enter. The gardens are free, but there's two domes, the Flower Dome and the Cloud Forest Dome. You need 2 to 4 hours to do them. You could do them really quick in 2 hours if you don't want to take pictures and stuff, but if you're a photographer, plan for at least 4 hours between both of them. They're pay to enter, so your decision point is, do I go in the morning when there's beautiful light and less crowds? It really is awesome. Or do I go in the afternoon to beat the Singapore heat? That's your decision, but watch the video and see what they're all about. If you know anything about Singapore, you probably know about the Gardens by the Bay. It's this huge area that's the most intentionally developed garden I've ever seen in my life, where they mesh city and vegetation and nature all in one, and it's pretty impressive. You need about I think you can see it all in 2 to 3 hours. Come early in the morning like we are now because the lighting's beautiful. It's still hot, it's just hot in Singapore. Or you can come in the evening because it's nice with the sunset and you can do the bridge and you can see the Marina Bay Sands Hotel. Also, it's still gonna be hot, but there are these indoor domes. We're gonna go see the inside of the domes, we'll tell you when we get there, but this is really cool. I think it's really impressive and I recommend it. Turns out the Cloud Forest Dome is way cooler than I thought. Coming here in the morning is totally worth it because this waterfall, the mist, the temperature, the light, everything is just gorgeous. In the Cloud Forest Dome, on the very top level, if you take an elevator, it's called the Lost World. It's supposed to be the top of a mountain rainforest. There's mist constantly spraying, so there's just like clouds wafting around. And they have some Legos, a little pond, so that's cool. And then once you come away from that area, there's the Cloud Walk that we're on now, and you get a nice scenic view of the entire garden area. It's just really cool. If you're scared of heights, maybe kind of unnerving, but it's, you know, you have these rails, so you're fine.
This is a lot more exciting than I thought it would be.
Okay, so let's clarify the two domes that you have to pay to go inside of at the Gardens by the Bay. One is the Cloud Forest, which is essentially like a weather climate thing. It's a man-made mountain and a man-made waterfall, and you've got like moisture, you know, the air comes in, the moist air, and then it's forced up, and so it's supposed to make like clouds, and you just walk around and see all the beautiful things that they built in there. And then the Flower Dome, I think that's self-explanatory. There's flowers. Right now it's Tulip Mania, so we're gonna see some tulips. Prepare yourself for lots of pretty B-roll of flowers. Cloud Forest Dome was way cooler than I thought. I'm not really a garden guy. I don't really like walk around gardens and enjoy myself unless I'm plotting on, you know, killing a king or something. But now we're in the Flower Dome, and I'm not really a flower guy either, but it's tulipzania, something to do with tulips. And Maggie just informed me that tulips grow in northern colder climates, so like we're nowhere near that right now. But it is so cold in here for the tulips.
And by it's cold in here, meaning it's just chilly because we came from outdoor temperatures that were like in the 90s.
So the Flower Dome is laid out in different regions of the world. Like we walked up and we saw some trees from Australia. It's really cool. I haven't been to Australia yet, so I haven't seen these trees. Now we're in the California part of the Flower Dome. Californian flowers, Californian vegetation and plants. Maggie, what do you think of the California part of the Flower Dome?
I like it. There are vines, which reminds me of wine. And I like wine.
If you watch our channel, you know that we enjoy wine and other beverages and food. On the upper level, there's these really funny looking trees that when you see what they're named, you've probably heard of them, the baobabs. I feel like someone was like, hey John, what's the name of that tree, the one that's like kind of bulbish and bowed? And then the guy was like, it's a baobab tree. And then the guy was like, did you make that up? No, yeah, it's definitely a baobab tree. That's what it's called, baobab. Write it down, baobab. If you would have asked me, what's the name of this tree? I'd be like, that's a badunkadunk tree, junk in the trunk tree. Kind of heavy on the bottom, kind of pear-shaped, makes the world go round. Fat bottom girls. So there's a storm rolling in, so we're gonna go ahead and leave the flower dome, but just so you know, if you're into plants and flowers, plan to spend like an hour and a half here. If you're like me and you're like, oh, this is pretty and it smells really good, you can see this in like 30 to 45 minutes, but it is worth seeing.